All right, good morning, everybody. So actually afternoon, it's Wednesday. It's a little afternoon. I'm down at Haley Farm, which is down the hill from where we're at Groton Middle School, down the hill from the high school, headed towards the water. And it's really beautiful out now. It was disgusting this morning, but it's really nice out now. But I'm taking a little lunch break. I'm gonna go for a little run and fill you in on what we're doing on Thursday and Friday. You can see the sun's coming out and the clouds are starting to break up. It's a nice day, so let's get started. I'm gonna start my watch and let's get started. I'll probably do about 7 miles today, but don't worry, you don't have to listen for the whole 7 miles. I'll keep this pretty short and sweet. Basically, we got two big things we got to do Thursday and Friday this week, depending on which day you have LA with Mr. Fleming. Number one, most important, is our next graded assignment going in the grade book. It's been posted, so by the time you're watching this, it's been posted, and it's called Dunk Tank. All right, and basically what Dunk Tank is all about is, can you take a story that's already been written but doesn't really have an introduction that's really going to grab your attention or anything? Can you write an introduction for that story that will grab the reader's attention and go with the story and kind of lead into the story and so forth? So exactly what we've been practicing. We've practiced a couple different techniques so far, taking an exciting part of the story and using a little snippet of it at the beginning to grab the reader's attention, describing the action, or using straight dialogue, or maybe even a combination of the both. But that's what we're doing on Dunk Tank. I made it so everybody can make a copy for themselves and turn it in. I attached the the narrative intro writing spreadsheet, so you can check that out. The examples are in there. Feel free to look at all that. And you know, the thing about this assignment is it doesn't really involve a lot of writing. Your intro might be really short. Some of the best intros that students have written over the past couple of days, sometimes they're only like 2 or 3 sentences. Sometimes they're longer. Sometimes they're 8 to 10 or 12 or something like that. It's not really about how long the introduction is or how many sentences. It's about, does the introduction accomplish the goal of creating some drama, some intensity, some excitement, maybe some mystery that will really grab the reader's attention. So that's really what it's all about. And for those of you who have been able to do that with just like 2 or 3 sentences and a real kind of like cliffhanger line at the end of it or something like that, that's fine. If it accomplishes the goal, it accomplishes the goal. So the key is just to read through the story very carefully so you have a good feel for what it's about and can come up with something that will make sense at the beginning of the story. So that's Dunk Tank. So that's writing. Reading, it's time for reading notebook 1-3. We're going to take a little break from summaries. Hopefully at this point everybody's had a chance to finish reading notebook 1-2. Check out All Summer in a Day right there. Summary for All Summer in a Day. And you're ready to move on. You might not be ready to move on, and that's fine. Due dates, don't worry about them right now, okay? I'm slapping due dates on there, but right now we have to be flexible. You kind of have to take care of things one step at a time. If you're a little bit behind, don't worry about it. You know, it's not like I'm gonna be taking a bunch of points off. We gotta kind of ease into this and get everybody comfortable, and I'm not gonna worry about that stuff too much right now. So don't worry about the due dates. Make sure you've got reading notebook 1-2 all taken care of first. Make sure I sent it back to you with a score on it. That's most important. Then make sure you've taken a look at All Summer in a Day and written your summary for All Summer in a Day. Take your time, do the very best you can on that. Again, that's our first grade in the grade book, so definitely do the best you can on that. So once you've taken care of all that, which I know many of you have already, the rest of this week we're going to check out reading notebook 1-3, which in a nutshell is about trying a new thing to write about for our reading, which is called an inference. Inferences are really like the foundation, like the the golden nugget, if you will, of what we're trying to do in reading this year, where we want to get past just simply telling who's in the story and the basic summary. We want to move past that now and start to think a lot more deeply about what's going on in the story and be able to write about that. So basically, if you look through I've attached the writing about reading slideshow, and it's been updated with all the information about inferences. Okay, inferences in a nutshell is you making a guess about what's going on in the story. It doesn't say this in the story. The author doesn't tell us this specifically, but it's a suspicion that we have, or a guess, or an idea, or a thought that we have about what's going on in the story. For example, Hunger Games is pretty popular. Most of us know Katniss, and we know Katniss is pretty tough and pretty resourceful and everything. Does it actually say that in the story somewhere? Or do we just know that? Are we making is that our own analysis? Are we making a statement about Katniss that it doesn't say it in the story, but we could certainly back that up with details and facts from the story and so forth. Inferences come from our own head. They're not in the story. They're ideas, thoughts, opinions, suspicions, guesses that we have about what's going on in the story, about the characters in the story, that it doesn't say in the story, but we come up with in our own heads based on what's going on in the story, the facts and the details and the events and so forth that are happening in the story. A couple of really good examples on the Google Sheet, the Google slideshow, the writing about reading. We're talking slides now. We're down to like slides, I don't know, I think it's like 6 through 10 now or something like that. You'll see them in there. It says inferences. I've got the definition. I've got some good examples in there. Read through those carefully. I put a couple different examples. I put like a real basic one. I color-coded the different parts of a response. Then past that, there's a much more advanced one, which many of you will be ready for and will be wanting to shoot for. But for now, the basic one is fine. If that's where you're at, just go with what you're comfortable with for the time being. We can always build on that later on. So check out the writing about reading Google slideshow. I gotta watch my feet in this particular section. I can't see what's going on here. There's rocks everywhere. And with all the wind, all the leaves have come down. So it's very difficult to see. So I gotta be careful in this little area right here, but that's okay. We're almost done. Make sure you do at least 30 minutes of reading, and give an inference a try for reading notebook 1-3. If you get stuck, if you need another example, you guys know the deal. Come see me in office hours next week, but before that, email me anytime, turn it in, make a comment in the private comments. I'm not sure if I did this right. Could you check it out, Mr. Fleming, that kind of thing. This is just a practice run. This is not the test yet. So now's the time to give things a try and ask some questions, all right? So those are the two biggies. The third biggie is to make sure you check the check-in sheet every day, especially those of you who are at home. When you're in class with me, I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. When you're at home, check that check-in sheet, find your name, find the date, and check that little box to make sure that you have checked in at the beginning of class, so I know that you are participating. That's your attendance, okay, when you're at home working from home. All right, so very important. So dunk tank, reading notebook 1-3, check out the slideshows, email me with questions. For those of you coming in Thursday, Friday, I'll see you then. Make sure you check the check-in sheet for attendance when you're at home, and we should be good to go. All right, I'm about done with mile 1 here, so I'm gonna wrap this up, put my phone away, finish up, go home, start checking out some more of your work. So hopefully everything's turned in on time. Oh, very important, last thing, I also posted your new reading log for October. I'll be looking for those September reading logs, so check out the directions on that. That's been posted in our Google Classroom, everything's there. So check that out, that'll be number 4 too. So check that out as well. All right, once again, coming up on mile 1. For the time being, Mr. Fleming, out. Have a good day.